Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing? It's DJ Doc here with you for Straight Talk. I'm so glad you were able to make it today. This is February 2nd, 2022. Ooh, I know it's not Halloween, but I had to give you that. Ooh, hope you don't mind. It was funny. My daughter was talking about that the other day, and she says, we'll never see that again. And I got to thinking, I was like, right, right. And I was just joking. I said, well, just imagine 3, 3, 30, 33. And she got to think, she was like, yeah, yeah. And I said, no, babe, we're not going to be around for that one. We definitely won't be around for that one. You know, I hope everybody has been doing well. We are still in the middle of this pandemic, but I hope you're staying safe, remembering to wear your mask. If you can, go and get vaccinated. Then make sure 6 months later you get boosted. I'm telling you, it really does make a difference. The goal is to keep you from becoming severely ill, keep you from being hospitalized, as well as keep you from dying. Okay? And the vaccines are doing that. Remember, the vaccine is not to make you immune from COVID, but to do those things that I just talked about. All right? Okay. I want to say happy Black History Month to everybody. Um, I just want you to know that I want you every day. A lot of people at work, what I have them do is I have them actually tell me a nice little Black history secret or uh, information about somebody during this month. And I have them do it every other day or so. I'll just go up to some of the random ones and say, what you got for me? All right. So study some history. Should be doing it year round, but really a lot of times people will do it during Black History Month. So educate. You'd be surprised what you'll learn. All right. I'm not surprised, but a lot of people out there are surprised. All right. So tonight on our show, I'm happy to introduce this young man. I met him probably, I'm going to say, 5, 6 months ago now. And we met through a group of men that we're with. And what's interesting is I sat one on one with him and we just talked. And, it's always interesting when you meet people and you sit and talk with them because you build a true rapport, trusting relationship, which is what we're developing even more so. I want to say it's developed, but we're developing it even further. And I wanted to bring him on tonight because the young man that I'm going to be bringing on, his name is Cheddy W. Matthews. Okay. He is the founder of Headspace Coaching. He is making good great and great exceptional. That's what Cheddy Matthews does for individuals and organizations alike. All right. This is not only his passion, but it's his gift, his calling, and profession. So, as an inspired, conscious raising, eternally optimistic, when you meet him, you're going to know what I mean by eternally optimistic. He always seems up. Okay. And that's a good thing. All right. And faithful lover of people and life. And it shows, that was one of the things that I was drawn to when we first met. And I hadn't even actually talked to him yet. I just saw him talking to others. Okay. Cheddy believes his work at Headspace Coaching is fulfillment of his life's purpose. You all know I always say, find something you love and turn it into a business, right? All right. He is a motivational and keynote speaker, transformational leadership coach, and business growth strategist. He's a serial entrepreneur. And the one thing I really love is he's a retired U.S. Marine Corps officer, all right, and a proud father. Y'all know that I'm really partial to all of my Marines and things of that nature. I always talk about that, and I can't help myself. I can't, all right? I want everyone right now to help me not introduce, but help me welcome Mr. Cheddy W. Matthews to the show. Hey, Cheddy, how you doing, man?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me on your show. Great honor.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. So, uh, look at the smile, y'all. Just look at the smile, okay? Like I said, optimistic. All right, optimistic. So, Chetty, first, tell us a little bit more about you. I just gave a little bit of your bio and so forth. Tell us a little bit more that you want people
Sure.
to know about you.
Absolutely. Sure. I'm one of those individuals that people always ask, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from everywhere. Because my parents are Jamaican. I was born in London, moved to New York, joined the military, traveled the world. So where is home? Home is everywhere. And if you give me a few minutes in a place, I'll probably call it home. So where am I from? I'm English of Jamaican descent and consider myself a New Yorker who lives on the West Coast. So pretty awesome. I'm all over the place and I enjoy it. And one thing I've known is that people everywhere I've gone are absolutely amazing. And I enjoy that. I enjoy finding the awesome in people. So I travel a lot. But what got me into the coaching side of the world, we can probably talk about that a little later. But I enjoy helping people to actually achieve the potential that they have, that intrinsic power that they have inside them, and just letting them see it and then letting them walk in it. So that's really me in a nutshell.
And the one other thing that I love about this guy is he's from New York, just like me. There's nothing wrong with New Yorkers living out here on the West Coast, right? So,
I love
Cheddy,
it.
how
I
long have you
love it.
been out here now?
Okay, how long have we known each other? Because it's been about that long.
Well, I know we talked about that
So
before,
about six
and
months.
yeah, about
Yes,
6 months. So you had gotten here a little bit just before we had met, you know, and
absolutely. I was fresh. I was green.
yeah, yeah. But he is learning the ropes and doing it well, helping a
I
lot
love
of
it.
people. So I want you to tell us a little bit about what a coach is and what a coach does.
It's interesting because you hear the word coach thrown around a lot. Everybody's a coach. Everyone's coaching something. And what coaching actually is, it's not me telling you what to do in your life. It's not being the guru in your world, in your space. It's really helping that person draw from within them that awesomeness that they have, draw within them that true identity of who they are, their authentic self, helping them to find that so they can grow in their purpose. Not mine, not what I think you should do, not based on my color lens, but based on the way you see the world, who you are to the core, and helping you to live in that power. Because once you are in that space, the truth is your best self is your authentic self.
hmm and that's something that a lot of people take for granted. Like you said, we've heard
Yes,
all the time about the fact that this person's a coach, that person's a coach, and so forth. And I know you started off just great about that word gets thrown around there and so forth. You know, um, how long have you been doing that?
Whew. I started coaching in 2016. And
Okay.
but initially I started out, I'll tell you, I started out as a public speaker. I wanted to speak, and that was what I wanted to do. And while I was going through my training and my certification, you learn how to do some other things. And a coach got on stage named Christian Simpson, who was my coach when I was going through some John Maxwell training. And this man is phenomenal. And the level of seriousness he had about coaching and how it can change people's lives. And if you're not serious about changing people's lives, don't get into the industry. When he talked about it with that level of seriousness, it reminded me of people that serve in the military and the level of seriousness that they have with that occupation. And I was like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do. And this is how I want to impact people in this world. And I still speak and I love speaking, but I added the coaching component because I realized this is how I am here to add value to human beings.
Right. And the big thing is, as motivational and keynote speakers, we tend to be outgoing, although I've spoken to some who aren't as optimistic and outgoing as we are. But a lot of times I think being in the military and in leadership, we know that we have to
Yes,
speak to people and motivate them, you know. And of course, we don't motivate them like we would motivate our Marines. But the big thing is we still use some of that to get across to people, um, so that they can hear what
correct.
they need to. They can hear what they need to. So I want you to tell us a little bit about um, what Headspace coaching does.
Okay. So, Headspace Coaching, what we do is we find businesses that are looking to grow and looking to transcend to that next level. Sometimes businesses get stagnant and there's a lack of growth for some reason. They're just not getting to that next level. They want to expand. So I will come in, we'll talk, I'll assess the business and see what's going on, see the numbers, hear from the leaders. I think it's very important to hear from the leaders. Seeing the numbers is one thing, hearing the issues and the concerns and just asking those questions as a coach does to pull out the things they're not saying consciously, but to listen for the things they're saying subconsciously, just those key tips that they're giving you, and take notes on those things. Go
Right.
back and really make minor tweaks, recommend minor tweaks to their organization, little things they can do, because I'm not a guru, will never claim to be a guru, and there's no way I can know more about your business than you do. What I
Hmm.
can do is show you certain tips and techniques to help you to see some revenue increases, see more revenue increases, get more motivation, and all of a sudden your numbers start plussing up. Then we'd like to go into dealing with the individual because everything rises and falls with leadership. I'm a firm believer in that. If something's going well, leadership. If it's not going well, it's leadership. And if there's a buck that has to, if the buck stops anywhere, it should stop with the leadership. Therefore, at some point, I want to talk to the leaders and focus on them and enable them to really grow in their position so they can serve better, they can lead better, they can inspire better, because all of those things will enable that organization to grow as well.
Right.
And you cannot out lead the leader. So if a leader has a limiting belief, it will affect the whole organization. If the leader believes there's a sky is the limit, then the sky will be the limit for that organization.
Now,
So
I want to just
that is headspace coaching.
gotcha. And
Oh,
the
but go ahead,
big
please.
thing, no, sorry, the big thing that I want you to do is put it out there because you'll get a lot of people who allow ego to get in the way, from the fact of, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this forever and so forth and whatnot. How do you come across to those individuals so that they do want to talk to you and they go from holding back to almost just spewing it out?
Yes, that's it's funny because ego comes into it when people feel attacked. If you're going into a business and you say your business is terrible, they're going to be affected. They're going to be offended. Reason being, it's their baby. They've
Right,
birthed this thing or they've acquired this thing and it's theirs. So if you say that the business is terrible, what you're really saying is you're terrible. So that's offensive. And I don't come across that way. I really don't. The business operates how the business operates. But if you want to see a change, let's work on a change. I do, I find out what the intention and goals are of the person I'm coaching. So once the client tells me what they're looking for, then we can work together towards that goal. I don't
hmm,
dictate what they want. I don't mandate, I don't tell them, but I ask a lot of questions. I'm I try to be in some essence, in the essence of, this is gonna sound strange, I want to be the dumbest guy in the room because I want to be the one asking so many questions that it just starts to extract this knowledge, this insight out of the people that I'm asking the questions from.
right,
Because people think, but they don't think as much as they think they think. That is a fact.
hmm,
And just getting people asking questions provokes people to start thinking, and asking a secondary question gets them to think even more. And then
right,
instead of giving you the default answers, now it's like, well, is that really why you're doing that? Is that really the purpose for this? Are you doing it? And you really start to get to some deep seated issues.
right,
Hence the reason why we have to deal with the leader, because sometimes those issues are personal issues because we forget we're rational beings. I mean, we're emotional beings, and then we modify that and try to turn it into being a rational being. But we are emotional beings, and most
right,
of our decisions and actions are emotional, and then we justify them rationally. So
right.
if we can get people in that space where we can get to that, we can start to affect change.
And a lot of times when you get to the root problem, you can find out exactly what it is that you need to work on along with them.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely,
fantastic,
absolutely.
fantastic. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about it. How long were you in the military? I want people
I was
to
in the Marine
really
Corps for
know
20
who
years.
you are. 20 years. And
20
during that,
years, 3 months, and 11 days.
see, that's sad when we know exactly how long we were in, and we get to talking when people ask us, how long were you in? And we start telling them years, months, days, they're like, wow. Um, so
Yes,
a lot of what you are and who you are came from the military. You're talking 20 years, you know?
absolutely.
Right.
Yes,
And so the big thing that I want people to know is that your training and everything else comes from the military as well as life, as well as more training that you've taken for your coaching.
correct.
So I want to make sure
Yes,
that they are aware that you do have the qualifications to do this because the biggest thing,
oh,
like you said, is there are people out there that, yeah, I'm a coach, and you get to talking to them and you find out, no, they couldn't even spell coach, you know? So, I'm just saying because that's the one thing with us talking and sitting down and talking and so forth. That's one of the things I wanted to make sure when you came on the show, we're able to let people know
Yes,
because what you have to offer is fantastic and it will help a lot of individuals. So I want you to just give us, you don't have to give us the name of a company and so forth. Let us know with one of the companies that we were talking about before that you said you had gone in and helped. Just give a short synopsis of how that went.
sure. So I'm never going to tell you a name just because that's something I won't do. They can tell you, but I'm
Exactly.
not going to tell you.
Right, right.
So there was a chiropractor in the South. I'll just say that chiropractor in the deep South who had a particular skill set. There was some they were doing something that no other chiropractor was really doing, and they weren't capitalizing on it. And we talked, and I'm thinking to myself, you have this thing, and nobody knows about it. I'm like, you're like doctor, you're like a secret agent. You have this amazing tool that goes along with your chiropractic practice. Have you thought about doing these two things together? Because you can actually stand out from all your peers and everyone else. And we talked about it and we went home and did some numbers and we realized that he was making $300,000 a year, I believe, profit. And we were able to get him up 64% increase in profit.
Mm,
That's insane. That is insane. And it was a minor tweak. There was no, let me show you how to run your business because I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a DO. I don't know how to do the things he was doing. All I could show him was the problem that he already had. So I just looked at the situation from a different perspective, from a different aperture, from just looked at the chessboard from the other side and asked him a few questions and realized you're on a gold mine here. You're doing something that no one else is doing. You do it well. People love it. They respond to it extremely well. And you're not telling anybody about it and you're not capitalizing on it. And if we do a few things, all of a sudden people are just flooding in the door to get this package of this chiropractic work in addition to this other service that he was doing. Amazing. Amazing.
right.
And then on top of that, we realized, well, if we're going to do this and that, well, let's add massage therapy and let's add this. So we started adding all these ancillary services and became just a one-stop shop for holistic healing. And it was just amazing. Kick the doors
And,
down. I was blown away. I was blown away.
and just like you said, asking the different questions and so forth and getting them to think was what was needed,
Yes.
was what was needed.
Yes.
So
It
I
was
just
right
want
there the
to,
whole time.
yeah, real quick, I want to just say hello, Kashana and Jennifer. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for watching. If anyone's got any questions, pop them into the comments for Cheddy, and I'm sure he would be okay with answering some of your questions and whatnot. Now,
Sure.
one of the things that you look at is is word of mouth one of the key components that helps with you being contacted.
Third party endorsements are awesome because it's one thing for me to say, hey, I'm awesome. That's nice. But it's a lot better when someone else says, hey, Doc is the man. You need to go to Doc. If you need anything in this space, if you're not talking to Doc, you're talking to the wrong person. That's just going to come over better than you saying how great you are. If I tell you you're great, it sounds
Right.
a lot better, which you are, by the way. So it's an easy sell. But it's always precious to have a warm introduction to someone based on someone who knows what you've done for them and that you can repeat it again.
Right.
And I and
Right.
I would tell you, for me, it's humbling and it's an honor to receive those because you didn't have to do it. You
Hmm.
didn't have to do it. So to have an advocate really is beneficial and it's appreciated. I'm
Right.
appreciative of receiving them, but it's golden.
Now, since you've been doing this, I
Yes.
know that this is something that you love doing, you know, and you said that you're a serial entrepreneur. How are you creating that entrepreneur aspect as well as the coaching aspect?
I'll tell you. So I started my first business when I was a Marine. I was working at the Pentagon and I decided I should be able to make some more money doing some other things. So I'd work in the Pentagon and on my breaks, I'd go to the courtyard and I was selling car parts online.
Okay.
Selling car parts online. And it was pretty awesome. I loved it. I started buying stuff. I started putting rims on people's cars. And it was my passion. I said, if I'm putting this stuff on my own car, let me just go ahead and get in the industry. So I
Might
did.
as well.
And I
Right.
was thinking about exactly. I was thinking about getting out of the Marine Corps. So I was like, well, I'm gonna open up a car dealership. So, but while I'm in the Marine Corps, because it was so stringent in Virginia at the time, I said, well, let me do this instead. Let me sell car parts so I can at least be in that circle once I get out the Marine Corps, which I didn't do for another decade. It's good to have a plan, but I didn't get out for another decade. But when I was thinking about getting out, I said, once I do get out, I'll start a car dealership.
Okay.
And in the interim, I'll just sell car parts. So that was great. Then we had a cleaning company, which was pretty awesome. My wife had a baby. We had our first son, and she didn't want to go back to work straight away. So we created a cleaning company where she could help ladies learn how to be professionals and get out there. It was really good because it was more than just business. It was a training series because she inherently is a trainer. I think it's just what we are. So from that, we went on to have, I had a recruiting company and I loved recruiting. And
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm an extrovert. I want to see people. This is awesome. And then recruiting started to become more of a thing where I was just on social, I was really on LinkedIn Recruiter, looking at people's databases, looking on Career Builder and all these other sites, finding people. So I knew you. So if I had met you for the first time, I'm like, I would talk about you like I knew you because I knew your pedigree, I know what school you went to, where you came from, and realized I've never met you.
Okay.
And sometimes it would freak them out how much I knew about them. And then I really realized that I missed that human interaction. So with missing that interaction, I decided, all right, I need people again. So I went into residential real estate and I loved it. I love serving in that space because you're helping people.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you, that was a beautiful thing. Hey, Kashana, how are you? So I love selling homes because it's one of the biggest financial and emotional transactions somebody's going to make. And being a part of that, changing lives in a real way, was pretty awesome.
Right. Right.
And at some point, I decided that was great, but it was time to do what I was put on this earth to do. And it was to change
Okay.
lives in this way. So this is what I do. And
And
no matter how I try to run away from it, it comes right back. Love it.
oh yeah, because what's so funny is, um, you and I get to talking, and next thing you know, everybody starts to they're looking, they're trying to
I
listen
know.
in and so forth. They come over and they start talking to us. And one of the key
I
things
love
I
it.
always mess with people and I tell them is yeah, I'm really shy, you know. And then next thing, no, you're not shy. And I know you and I together, we're some shy guys. Shy guys.
And everyone can see how shy we are.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we
That's
just
funny.
enjoy ourselves and want to be able to help people. So I appreciate
Yes.
what you do, and I definitely know quite a few people that
Awesome.
I have spoken to, and that I told you that we're going to hit some networking events and get the
Oh,
word out
absolutely.
there. That's something that I love to do, and things are opening up a little bit more, and they're having a lot of things that
Yes.
are in open spaces. So I like that so much better
Good.
for us to get out and network and so forth and whatnot. Um, Once again, I want
Yes.
to thank Shauna for being on with us, and I know that we had, I believe, we got Kay now that's watching. Thank you, Kay, and
Awesome.
Jennifer. Once again, I want to say, thank you to everybody for joining the show. If there's some things or some people, businesses that you want to see, and so forth, let me know, okay? Or refer those people to me so we can get them on the show. Because one of the big things that we
Awesome.
started doing with Rock Media was during the pandemic, it was hard for people to advertise and get the word out about what they did, their business, and so forth. And we wanted to do our part. So my wife, Lori, and I decided, you know what, we're going to have the show and we're going to get some people on, just like we did with Cheddy here, and let people know what they do. It's all about creating a culture of caring. And Cheddy is one of the people that cares as well. So want to make sure that we, do all of that and so forth. Hey, Kay. Kay's a real good friend of mine, and just
Okay.
love her to death. Love her to death. She's always on and watching with us. So
Awesome.
thank you, Kay, for joining as well once again. So, Chetty, I want you to leave everybody. Well, first of all, before I do that, what I want to do is I want to let people know how they can get a hold of Chetty, okay? Because if you do need his service, his assistance, make sure that you contact him. So, this is Cheddy W. Matthews, founder of Headspace Coaching. All right, his office number is there 844-874-4653. Email cheddyspeaks@gmail.com, Website is headspacecoaching.com. And he even has an e-learning, headspacebusinessgrowthsystems.com. So reach out to him, let him talk with you, and see what he can do for you personally, as well as your personal life, your business, anything you may need. All right. I'm going to be enlisting his assistance myself, because he knows that I've talked about the fact, yeah, I help a lot of people as well with mentorship and things of that nature. Am I a coach? No. Do I claim to be a coach? No. Okay. But make sure that you reach out to Cheddy. All right. And he can help you with whatever you need there. You see, that's him in the professional setting. Look at him looking all business-like and whatnot. Um,
I can do
here
that from
with
time
you.
to time.
Yeah, and you know what? We clean up pretty good. We clean up pretty good. So once again, make sure you contact Cheddy.
Yes.
Um, Founder of Headspace Coaching. All right. Now, Chetty, what I would like you to do, sir, is I want you to leave everybody with something that lets them know how they can achieve more and do more.
Absolutely. So let me start with this. Um, in a few weeks, I'm going to be starting a podcast called Winning Inside. And the reason I started this podcast is because I realize there are a lot of people out there who have achieved a certain position in life, and life is going well. Then at some point in the middle of that, the trajectory is detoured because of a significant traumatic event, death, divorce, illness, scandal, who knows what it is, something that has derailed their whole career, their whole mindset. But because of their position in life, they're afraid to tell anybody. The problem
Right.
is they're suffering by themselves and they have no one to talk to and they are dying on the inside. And I'm here to tell you there's another side to that. And we can fail forward and we can fail our way to success. But you cannot stay in that. It's okay to make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, how do you learn? How do you grow? The issue isn't making the mistake. The issue is staying in that space and feeling like just because you failed, you're a failure. Being a failure and failing are two different things. And winners understand that you have to fail to learn, to refine, to improve, and to continue going. So when you make a mistake, two things have to happen. What did I do to cause the mistake? And what can I do for going forward so this doesn't happen again? If you stay there and stay really in that woe is me space, it becomes a lot larger than it is, and you will be stuck there. And when you wake up and all of a sudden look up, you're in the same space. And that loss, that sense of defeat that comes with that is going to consume you. So we've got to break through that. And you do that with the help of other people who, A, who have done it, B, who are going through it, and C, who are pushing you. So you want people to push you, go with you, and to pull you out of this thing. It's very hard to do on your own. It can be done. But I'm here for all those people who stay up at the middle of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning when no one is awake, nothing is on, and they're just there with their thoughts. And they are being tormented by those thoughts of the failures in their lives. We all
Right.
have failures. Everyone has them. We just have to learn how to navigate through them to get to the next stepping stone of success. So stay amazing. And I think everyone has a superpower. Find yours.
And I love the way you put that because that's one of the biggest things is when people try to do something and it doesn't work out the way they thought, then they consider, oh, it's a failure. I'm done. I can't do this. And what you said, I think, and well, not think, I know has inspired some people because there's a lot of people out there that have failed at certain things. And instead of saying, I can't do this, they need to know that it's okay. You know,
Yes.
I know that for the longest, when we were doing our media company and everything else, we're out there saying, we want to do more, we want to do more events and things of that nature. When we weren't getting the people contacting us and whatnot, at one point it was like, you know what, maybe we can't do this. But then as we looked at it, said, you know what, I didn't advertise it or promote it this way. Let me try to do that. And then all of a sudden,
Yes.
people started to contact us, people started to see us, and so forth. So, what he's saying is true, everybody. There may be points where you don't hit it the mark the first time, but don't give up. Continually try and learn from the mistakes. That's one of the biggest things. And you'll see a lot of different comments out there about learning from your mistakes. Mistakes are there for us to learn from. You know, I heard
Absolutely.
something today on a podcast that was talking about memory. And the big thing they were saying is that our memory was created for us to learn so we can move forward. So we don't make those same mistakes and we learn from those things. So mistakes and memories, that's all the same thing, all the same thing. Well, Chetty, uh, we could stay on here forever and just keep talking.
I know.
But I want to say
It'd be
thank
a
you for coming
pleasure.
on.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you for
time.
coming
Thank you for
on.
the opportunity.
Oh, most definitely. And I'm going to see you Monday evening.
Absolutely.
We're going
Oh
to get
yeah.
together, and I've got some other stuff I'm going to be talking with you about because I've got some networking events that's
Great.
coming up, and we're going to hit them up and take
Game
them
on.
over. All right.
Game on.
All right, guy. Have a good night,
All right.
and I will talk with
Everyone,
you later.
take care. Have a great evening. Take care. Ciao. Bye for now.
Hey, everybody. So, I want to thank you for being here with us. We always have a good time on the show, and a lot of the individuals that I meet, I build genuine relationships with them. And once you start building genuine relationships, those are individuals that you want to work with, and they want to work with you. So, one of the big things, just like Chetty said, don't let failure get you down. Go through it, continue marching. Don't give up. All right. I hope everyone has a good week, and we'll see you again on the next Straight Talk with me, DJ Doc. Peace, y'all.